Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I'm here to do a recap and review of Evil Dead Rise, which was just released the other day and which I have just seen. So let's get into it. As the film starts, we find friends Teresa and Jessica, as well as Jessica's new boyfriend Caleb, vacationing at a lakeside cabin. It's always a cabin. A seemingly ill Jessica scalps Teresa when she goes to check on her, and then decapitates Caleb after pulling him into the water, which she does after taking off her own face with the blades of a helicopter drone that Caleb was flying. After which she then levitates very creepily above the lake. But then we cut to a day earlier, and we find guitar technician Beth, who's upset at learning that she's pregnant, visiting her sister Ellie, a single mother to teenagers Donnie and Bridget and preteen Cassie in their decrepit and condemned Los Angeles apartment complex. The building is shaken by an earthquake while the children are in the basement parking lot, creating a hole into a concealed chamber. Danny investigates, discovering religious artifacts, 3 old type LP records that would play on a record player from the early 1900s, and a strange book that he takes up to his room. The first record details failed efforts by a priest to research the book, which is revealed, of course, to be the 3rd volume of the necrnomicon, which I guess is a different way of saying necronomicon. Anyway, the second record reveals that the priest continued his research in secret and contains an incantation that the priest spoke that summons demonic entities known as deadites, of course. The building's power fails, and an isolated Ellie is attacked and possessed by an unseen force. It was a pretty cool scene, actually. It happens in the elevator. She returns to her apartment and expresses her desire to cut open her family and live inside of them so they can all be together while cooking some eggs in a very unorthodox manner. After which she collapses after pleading with Beth to protect her children. Seemingly dead, Beth and Ellie's neighbors help lay her to rest in her bedroom and search for a way out of the building. They find that the staircase has collapsed, the elevator is damaged, and that they're unable to access the fire escape before Ellie revives and attacks the family, wounding Bridget. Beth and the children lock Ellie outside of the apartment after she pursues and massacres the neighbors. Danny confesses to Beth about recovering the book and the records, and Ellie tricks Cassie into letting her back in before attacking her. While Danny and Beth are distracted rescuing Cassie and locking Ellie out, Bridget becomes possessed via the wound that was inflicted upon her earlier. The deadites, I guess, got in that way. Bridget attacks Beth before turning on Danny and Cassie, who inadvertently impales her through the head with a broken broom handle, seemingly killing her. Beth then listens to the 3rd record to understand how to exorcise the deadites, but learns the priest failed and his allies were all possessed, with only complete destruction of the host stopping the deadites. Bridget revives and fatally stabs Danny, while Ellie infiltrates the apartment using the vents. Realizing Beth is pregnant, Ellie attempts to rip the fetus out of her, but Beth and Cassie are able to incapacitate her. Ellie then fails to emotionally manipulate Cassie, who accepts that her mother is already gone. Beth and Cassie take shelter in the damaged elevator, pursued by Ellie, Bridget, and the now possessed bodies of Danny and the neighbors. Ellie, Bridget, and Danny fuse into a multi-limbed abomination, and let me tell you, it's an abomination, while the elevator fills with blood. The abomination climbs atop the elevator, it's causing its weight limit to be exceeded, and causing it to plummet to the ground floor, allowing Beth and Cassie to flee into the parking lot, which they do after the elevator spills them out, along with a shit ton of blood, which was fantastic. Nothing we haven't seen before, but just lovely. The abomination captures Cassie and attempts to behead her with a chainsaw, but Beth gets to her in time and distracts it, allowing her and Cassie to force the abomination into a wood chipper, destroying its body. Ellie's head, however, is left behind, and it taunts Beth, saying she will be a failure as a mother, prompting Beth take a chainsaw to Ellie's head and then kick her into the wood chipper, killing her, destroying the body. Beth and Cassie then escape the building together. Sometime later, Jessica, from the beginning, goes to the parking lot from her apartment in the same building to leave on her vacation, but she notices the blood and all the guts and stuff around, and she goes to investigate for some reason because people, no, don't do that. And then, of course, she is attacked by the deadites in unseen form, which is how she got possessed, which is how the beginning of the movie happened. So, yeah, that's the movie. I mean, I guess the good news is the deadites are out of the building, but they're in the woods at the lake, apparently. So, anyway, I enjoyed watching this movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit more than the Evil Dead, I guess, remake or reboot or whatever that was supposed to be that came out, I think, in 2013. It wasn't very good. This was, I thought, a much better film. The lady that plays Ellie did an excellent job. She's creepy throughout this whole movie. The woman that played Beth was really good, which was important because, you know, you have to want to root for the hero. You have to care about the hero. So she did a good job, and that's cool. The gore is off the charts. There's some stuff in this. I mean, just when the other sister is turned after she gets, you know, wounded, and she also starts to turn. I guess her name is Beth. Yeah, particularly gross there. There's a thing with an eyeball. Yep. So the gore is really good. It does a good job of building the atmosphere and making it. It's very atmospheric and, you know, creepy. I liked what they did with the records because it gave us the exposition in, you know, in a way that the characters that are involved in the current story don't have to sort of give that exposition because they've had dealings with it before, which would have been a little cliche. They, you know, hear it from someone else who's been through it in the past. So that was cool, and it made it a little creepier because they don't have any idea what's going on, and they have to, you know, listen to the record to figure it out. The thing though is about the particular story, I thought it dragged on a little long, and that's saying something because the movie's only an hour and 36 minutes, which is not long for a movie, but it feels kind of long. There's, you know, quite a long sequence where what you're seeing is through the peephole of a door, and there's actually a couple of sequences where you spend several minutes looking through the peephole of a door. I thought maybe that might have gone on too long. Also, I couldn't escape the feeling two or three times during the movie that the person who was presently being menaced by Ellie wasn't actually going to die. Like, you kind of knew that they had, I guess, plot armor that they were going to survive. And part of the reason you knew that is because the sequence went on a little bit too long where I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. And really, it's just giving, you know, the cinematography time to show you the other person gearing up to rescue them or to help them. So you know, I never felt that those people were actually in peril. And in these movies, you're supposed to have a feeling where you never know if a person's going to actually get it, because a lot of times they do. The person that you go, oh man, that one died. Oh, I was hoping they were going to make it. You know, that that happens a lot in these movies, and it keeps you on your toes. And in this movie, I felt like you kind of knew that the little kid was going to make it and that Beth was going to make it. I will say that I didn't see the other daughter getting turned into a deadite. I didn't see that coming, and I didn't see her ending up being dead. And I guess I didn't see that the Danny kid was going to die necessarily, but his death happens really quick. So in that moment, you know he's going to die because it's not a dragged out sequence where, oh, is he going to die? Is he going to die? Is he going to die? He just dies. He gets killed quickly. So that's another critique I would give it. But all of that being said, I liked it better than Evil Dead 2013, and you know, I would watch another one if they made another one. You know, and they of course did the thing with the shotgun and the chainsaw, so that's in there too, by the way. So a nice little homage. But anyway, you know, it's okay. It's a 3 out of 5, I would say, maybe a 4, 3 or 4. So there you go. That's it. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back soon with another movie review or other content. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life.